Hello everyone and welcome to the channel. I'm Delle. If you're new, welcome. If you're returning, welcome back. I'm a psychic intuitive medium delivering channel messages as well as oracle and tarot readings on YouTube, so welcome. We're going to just get started. I'm feeling just to jump right to the oracle deck today. So we're using Salt and Sea, one of my favorites. I always write in the description box what the deck is in case you like the artwork and want to check it out for yourself. As well as if any songs come through the channel, Spirit likes to deliver songs and readings sometimes, so I just throw that onto a Spotify playlist called Songs from Spirit. It's that one's pretty awesome. it's growing to be really cool. So if you are a music lover like me, you might want to check it out. It's pretty cool. I see a card coming out again that's no stranger to the channel. It's a sea sponge. I'll show you in a second. Energetic absorption and empath. So I wonder if this is going to be an empath reading today. We'll see. But yeah, in the editing, I'm like, wow, that card comes up like almost every time I use this deck. So, okay. Yeah. But we have sea sponge, energetic absorption, and empath. So it came through, I believe it's coming back to me in the last reading as a Bezar stone, B-E-Z-O-A-R. If you're familiar with Harry Potter, that's what it's coming, same thing. But I think it was used in ancient Egypt to slow down inebriation, I read, because I love to research. So if something, especially if something comes up multiple times, I'm like, let me look into that further. But there was something about it being used to absorb poison also as like a healing tool, but they were made up of like bits of like hair and things like that. It's kind of, I don't know, you can look it up if you want to research it further, but it was basically a hard rock stone. And yeah, so I don't know if this is similar as like a rhino stone, but with this message today, how it's coming through is someone, it might be feeling really dehydrated, or if you've been feeling stuck or overwhelmed, to literally invite more flow into your life by drinking more water, by drinking more fluids. I'm seeing the sea sponge today as quite dry and like it wants to be hydrated, it wants to be nourished. So that's coming through. I'm also seeing it like someone used it to take off a layer. So if you are someone who likes to do scrubs, or especially like a salt scrub or a sugar scrub or something to kind of wash the day off, it's like if you're using something to scrub yourself, so if you are using a sponge or something or a loofah in the shower, it's time to toss that, recycle it, and get a new one. I'm just getting this energy of like it's seen its days, it's gotta it's time to let it go. So there's no judgment here ever, but it's just I'm kind of seeing like, I'm actually seeing now holy water. Like if you've ever been to a church and you come in and there's that sponge that's there and you tap it and you get the holy water to make the sign of the cross or whatever. And I'm just seeing like someone going like, ugh, like I don't want to touch it because it looks a little worn down. So I know that's a very, very specific message, but that's how it's coming through. So either we need a new sponge or we need to really stay hydrated, but either way, the message I feel like is the same. There's something about renewal, about bringing some fresh energy into the mix. So if you're avoiding people because you're an empath and it's just overwhelming right now, I'm getting that water can be a great way to flush out, like the day to flush out, or almost act as a conduit or an insulator or something like that. So if you do go out in public, just making sure you're taking hydration breaks. I'm seeing the specific video, so I will link it in the description box. There's a channel called Simple Happy Zen. The gal's name is Vera. She's a very sweet personality, very calm, very gentle. She has an excellent video about almost like a self-care checklist for highly sensitive people. And there's a book written about it, and they abbreviate it to like HSP. So everything's got its own letters nowadays. I like it though, it's fun. And but there's just something that will be very helpful for you in that video to understand like, oh, maybe I do just need to take like 5 minutes in the car before I go from one errand to another. Sometimes it's 10. After I watched that video, because I lived in a very populated area for a little bit. Oh my gosh. And as someone who's also very sensitive, highly sensitive, I, it was frequent for me to leave like the Trader Joe's or whatever in tears. Like I wouldn't be sobbing, but I would be so overwhelmed. I would just have to go and sit and cry in the car because it was just overwhelming. I wasn't used to that, being around that many people. And I have since moved from that location to a less populated area, and it feels so much better for me, as well as living on the coastline. So it occurred to me, like, I find so much peace the closer I am to the ocean. And I realized that, yeah, because literally this whole side is like, it's just the water. There's nobody. So for me, I need that relief. I need that quiet. I need to know, like, all right, it's just me and the ocean and the fish and the few people on the beach, and I like that. But I had to move away to realize that living on the coastline was actually doing that for me. So for me to be going on about this, it could be irrelevant for you. But yeah, there's something in that video. You should definitely check it out. After I watched that, and I was still living there at the time, I started to give myself permission to just sit in the car. So I would go into a store and then I would just sit in the car and chill out. I would listen to a YouTube video, or I would just listen to silence or close my eyes. And when I felt ready, I would go into the next store. Or if I felt ready, I would go home because I had had enough that day. Or if I felt like, you know what, I'm actually hungry, like I would make sure that I picked up something to eat, or I would go get something to eat before resuming errands. So sometimes I think we have a to-do list and we just have to go do and get everything done in one shot. And when I made that sound, my cat looked over like, are we playing? Are we playing? So anyway, yeah, so there could be something in there for you. So hermit crab, resourcefulness and adaptability. So some of you could actually be relocating or moving or considering this, like, oh, maybe I would do well in a less populated area. Maybe that's actually the cause or the source of all my problems. I don't know, but it makes a huge difference. It's a shame because, like, it's not even a shame, it just wasn't right for me. Where I lived, I had really great neighbors. I lived like half a block away from a park, so I could walk, I could be outside in nature every day, but it just, it wasn't, I needed the ocean. So, but yeah, so I think you're learning how to be resourceful and adaptable with the situation or current circumstances that you have found yourself arriving in. But I do get that it might seem overwhelming or scary, but there's something about a move or shifting or adjusting to something being adaptable. So again, if you found yourself in a new environment, like, you might have to change the way you live in it to be successful there. So again, like taking extra long breaks or planning out your routes for things better, or even getting used to a slower pace of life. Some of you are used to being in a city, and now you're finding that you're in the country somewhere, in a suburb, and it's like, whoa, why isn't the store open 24 hours? I need, it's 2 a.m. and I need something, but everything is closed up around 8 o'clock where you moved to. So that's a huge adjustment as well. Yeah. So there's something about just being adaptable right now. I feel like a lot of you have settled into a new environment, and it's like, this wasn't what I was expecting. I'm having a hard time or difficult time adjusting to it. So I think it's really just getting a different game plan together and reorganizing your time and your schedule. Okay. Manatee, forgiveness, surrender, and release. So, this is an interesting message coming through. It's like someone forgiving themselves. So, I don't know, I'm still being guided to share about that, where I moved to at the time, but when I got there, I was so upset because, when I got there, the reason I moved there was no longer valid or or in my life 1 week after I moved there. So I was really angry with myself. I was really annoyed with myself. So how this is coming through in the reading is like, let's say you got a job or something, you relocated and everything. A week after you're there, you find out that the job is no longer going to go through. So I'm seeing them say like, yeah, sorry, we filled the position with a better candidate. We know that you moved, so we'll give you a few months to relocate. But you're like, it took a lot of effort and energy and time and resources, and it was like, I'm hearing a wealth was affected. So you could have put a lot of money into this job or this relocation or a move, and now that it's not happening, or the reason that you moved is not happening, it could have been a relationship. Or it could have been like you moved closer to be, or moved somewhere to be closer to a set of doctors or something, I'm getting for some of you. And it's like, then the doctor retired like a week after you moved there. I'm hearing it's like just you couldn't have known. You couldn't have known to, so forgive yourself and just trust that this relocation happened for a reason. And I'm hearing you're going to be re-guided. You're going to be, it's like I'm seeing GPS saying like rerouting. So I can't really tell for you guys watching if you're going to be relocating again, or if you're going to be guided towards something else. So, but yeah, that's coming through. For some, in the case of a doctor, it's like the original doctor you wanted, if they quit or whatever, or the original thing you wanted didn't work out, there's something even better. So I know it's like, we hear that sometimes, it's like, I want to see it now, I want to feel better now, but I'm just hearing trust that this is all happening for a divine reason, and just to really talk to Source, talk to God, talk to the universe about, all right, please reroute me. What do I actually need right now? What's best for me? Is there a different opportunity in this area? But I just see someone kind of like doubting the universe's plan for them. See how like his eyes are sadly looking up? This poor hermit crab's eyes are sadly looking up. I'm just kind of getting a similar message where it's like, oh my gosh, did you do this to me? Like, why are you doing this to me? And I just feel like there's a bigger reason, or there's a reason that you can't see, and I'm hearing better. There's something better. So, not to lose faith, not to lose hope, even though you want to like shake your fist at the sky. It's just something better is coming. So we're trusting that. Clam, open up. It's okay to feel vulnerable. Definitely, if you're going through any of the situations that have come up so far in the reading, it's definitely a vulnerable feeling. Especially if you are, some of you, I'm feeling like you connect with a church or something like that resonates for you, and you find the support and help that you need there. I'm getting a pastry. I'm getting the sfogliatelle here with the clamshell, and I think that Italian pastry, it does mean like a clamshell or a shell or something. But I am seeing that maybe you go to a bakery, and for some, this is interesting. I'm getting you relocated for an office job. The job's not there anymore. So when you leave, you see that there's like a bakery on the way home or down the street, and you pop in and they're like, bakery assistant needed, hiring now, and you need a job. And you're like, I heard someone say, F it, I'll be a bakery assistant. So you go in, and it ends up being like, if your passion, like you're like, oh my God, if I hadn't moved, I just heard Houston, if I hadn't moved to Houston from Louisiana or wherever, I never ever would have popped into that bakery if they hadn't called me in and told me the job didn't exist anymore. And I never would have gotten a job as a bakery assistant. I never would have fallen in love with pastry. And I never would have opened up my own business. It's like this, if this hadn't happened, but it started out as a misfortune, or so it seemed. Spirit has a very, and the universe has a very clever way of doing that. Like something, we interpret something as a misfortune, but it's like we can choose to turn that around. We can choose to see another opportunity and be open to it. So open up. It's okay to feel vulnerable. I'm feeling, when I first turned this card over, I saw clam as calm. So I feel like there's something about just stay calm. This is happening for a reason, and you're able to move forward with this. this is interesting. So my camera focuser thing is locked into the painting here. So something about art could be relevant for you. I just had some clearing come through with that, excuse me. Could be this is like your time to be shifting into some more creative work. So, okay. And then we have Letter in a Bottle. I'm hearing that Sting song again. This came through on the channel, so I think it's already on the playlist. With a message in a bottle. But your message has been received. So I feel like this is you talking to the universe, like, can you bring something else in for me or guide me to where I'm supposed to be now, or what would make me happy, or what would make this move worthwhile? Am I being guided to come back where I was from? Am I being guided to go someplace else? You know, please reroute me. For some, I'm seeing it's like a landing point to go to someplace else. I'm seeing that like in a map. For some, it's like, again, you build a life there you hadn't planned on at all, but it looks totally different. It's like Spirit used that reason to get you there. In the case of like when I relocated or whatever, I had no idea the amount of like that where I moved to, where it was highly populated. There's like a falcon outside. Wow, it's powerful read. Where I moved to, there was a ton of falcons and a ton of hawks actually, but they were kind of like you're still in the right place. You're still in the right place, because I questioned like, why am I here? Why am I here? And that I had to really completely overhaul my life. That's what ended up happening for me. So when I moved to that overpopulated place, I couldn't even go out, because like I said, I'm sensitive, and it was so overwhelming. I'm a lot better with that stuff now, but so it kept me inside a lot. And but in hindsight, it's like if I hadn't gone through that period of time, like I redid everything. I got rid of 2/3 of my belongings. I went through every single thing that I had. I just had this moment of like clarity. What do I actually want in my life, and what don't I want in my life? I completely changed the way that I took care of my body, because I had all these health issues come up after I moved there, of course. And I got to work through a ton of stuff, and I'm so glad and grateful for the space of that time, even though it was very isolating and very, very difficult. Like, I wouldn't be able to do so many of the things I do and able to do nowadays if I hadn't gone through that period of time in my life. I mean, everything changed. It was like everything changed. The type of partner, like the type of partners I used to pick for myself, like it's almost like a whole other lifetime where I'm like, what? Like it's very, very strange. Like just everything changed. Every aspect of my life changed. And I went through this massive like leveling up during that time. So it was good I had the space of feeling able to do that, but it was definitely difficult. But I got through it, and you will too. That's what I'm getting. But I do feel like whoever I'm speaking with or connecting with today, I feel like you'll have a lot easier of a time than I did. I think I was there for a very specific reason. This one feels like divine intervention and divine redirection, and it leads to something that you might not have otherwise gone after. Okay. All right, and compass, divine guidance. Yeah. That's a great place to stop the reading today. There's your clarification, your confirmation. Yeah. I feel like you're being re-guided to something, but it's going to turn out for the better. And if you're ever uncertain, you can just like ask your divine compass, hey, please reroute me. Where am I heading to now? Please show me my compass. And there's always a sign. There's always a sign. The universe is always communicating with you, with us, and you'll find your way forward. You might have to wait a second, but you'll find your way forward and through. Yeah, and you'll know in your heart too. My very first business was called With Love and Compass, and I still use that for other things. But it was basically like, just follow your heart, do everything that, think, do, feel with love, and you'll figure it out. You always will figure it out. So sending you lots of love and wishing you all the best. I feel like you're embarking on a very exciting and powerful journey, and you are in that transition phase. So congratulations. It's exciting. Not a lot of people even get to that. So you should feel proud of yourself and carry on. You'll be fine. So, all right. Drop us a line if you feel like doing that in the comments. Let us know how you're doing. And until next time, stay well. Bye.